Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. We are missing one person temporarily. He'll be in shortly, but our players are once again.
Hi, I'm Corporal Higgimus, 4th class. Giff fighter. There we go.
I am playing Yeldan Sharpeye, a Elven Warrior.
I'm Ockar, human paladin.
Levalithana, elven wild mage.
Hi, I'm Zakar. I play Lafdul Moonglade, a mischiefmaker thief multiclass.
Okay, so you guys had basically wrapped up your last adventure and gotten your brand new ship, a battle dolphin. I made a couple changes to the map so that you now have. Oops, that's not the right tool. So we got on the map now Leva's chambers here, and this is the large library. Okay, so
Yeah, we also got our new adventure hook.
yep. Well, you're gonna get that shortly. So we'll be going over if anyone else has anything that's come up that they wanted to purchase. We can do that again, but before all that happens, while all the work was being done on your ship, getting it ready for sailing and everything like that, you did receive a note when you arrived at port on the 4th day. You know, during when you came back into refuge, on the 4th day that the elves wished to see you. They had some information for you.
Do the
All right.
elves!
Let's go put on our best and go see him.
Okay. So,
My best being plate mail.
you arrive at the Elven Enclave and are directed to meet with a Sub-Lieutenant Esselor. And
Esselor?
Esselor, yeah. He appears to be in charge of records or something like that. You're taken to his office, and there are papers, books scattered everywhere. He's got shelves full of scrolls and charts, all kinds of things of a literary and documentary nature. As you enter, he appears to be reading or getting some background noise.
Somebody was trying to shout at me, but they
Yes,
found the thing they were looking for.
You could just, when that's happening, please just like temporarily mute yourself.
I know, I was trying to, but I didn't get to it in time.
So he greets you as you enter, and starts flipping through some materials, and he says, "Ah, yes. I understand that you needed some information on the last known location of the Naralaniensen, the life tree of Neuralis, as you would call it."
Yeah, the silver one?
Yes.
Yeah, the silver tree. That's what
Yes.
we need information on.
He sorts through some papers and then pulls something out and says, the tree, it used to be hold on a second. James, can you mute yourself? I was getting quite a bit of like desk sounds, which kind of distracting me. He tells you that the life tree of Neuralis was on a elven crown base, which is made up of man-o'-wars grown together in a ring, and it used to be in a crystal sphere called Alavar Space.
Olive space. Never heard of it.
No, me neither.
And it was last known during the what you would call the First Unhuman War. Our last records of it were from that time. We believe that the sphere was overrun by the goblinoid forces, and presumably everything was lost. After the war ended, we attempted to find it again, but the Phlogiston Rivers had shifted. Where it is now, we are unsure.
Do they shift often?
Not terribly often. It depends on the crystal sphere and the Phlogiston Rivers, really. Certain ones, as far as we can tell, are completely stable, as with the Radiant Triangle and the Arcane Flow. But others can and do shift over time. Whether it's the Phlogiston Rivers or the crystal spheres moving, no one really knows, however.
So, how are you supposed to find this thing?
Kind of gives you a look of sympathy and... Don't know?
Divine guidance, my friend. Hopefully.
I could
Probably.
trying to tear, but I don't know how much that helps.
I don't
All right.
think it's gonna help.
Give us
He can give you some
charts and
more...
everything of the area that it used to be at.
He can give you some more information about it. He gives you a quick rundown on the sphere itself. It was lightly inhabited by elves. The Imperial Navy had only recently, at that time, recently made contact with an elven world in there that they initially didn't, weren't spelljamming aware until contact with the Elven Imperial Navy. And so far as they had records of, there wasn't anything else of significance in the system. He gives you a quick rundown on the planets in there. There were... He describes it a bit from his records as a rather warm crystal sphere. It had 3 fire bodies warming the sphere and producing quite a bit of light overall.
He means stars, right?
That would be, well, suns.
Stars aren't suns.
That's,
Come on, don't talk like a groundling.
I don't think he was doing that in character.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
So, yeah, fire bodies are suns, stars are on the inside of the crystal spheres. Although, arguably some fire bodies are going to look like stars from the surface of a planet.
So, any clue of what direction we should start sailing to try to get to this place?
Well, he can tell you that the old Phlogiston River once left from the crystal sphere of Tier Space. That's T-I-R, not T-Y-R. It's unrelated to your deity, Ockar. But they have, in the 300 years since the first Unhuman War, they've scoured all the known Phlogiston Rivers from Tier Space and have not been able to find Alavar Space again.
Okay.
So we're just
Tier
going blind
space
here.
Tier space is probably the place to start still.
So we'll be flying off the waterways, cut.
Yeah.
Possibly.
These suns, sir, are they in any sort of formation? Is it a triangle of suns in the center of the sphere, or is it one in the middle and one further out?
There is one in the middle. He gives you a quick rundown. Let me actually get the list. So, the center of the sphere is the one of the fire bodies. Surprisingly, outside of that, just outside of that, is an ice ring. Despite it being quite warm in the sphere, they don't have many records left of, some details were,
Lost to time.
yeah, and some of the information was still located in that. Like survey details were located in that sphere and thus lost. But they believe that that belt had portals to the para-elemental plane of ice, and that's kind of why they think it was so cold. But they don't have any confirmation of that at this time. Outside of that was an air world with a few moons, and one of those moons was one of the other suns of the sphere.
Right.
And then there was a water planet, and then an earth world with 3 moons, and one of those, again, was another one of the fire bodies in the system.
Right.
Okay. Suspend my disbelief.
Sounds like an interesting sphere.
Yeah.
Do you have a chart of it?
They are able to supply you with a chart. Obviously, it's 300 years old, and they're giving you a copy. It's 300 years old, so things may have changed in the meantime.
This elfin base. What did you call it again? Crown Station or something?
Yes. It was a crown base, produced
I've
by growing together elven man-o'-wars.
I've never been on one of those. Do
Most of
they have
most of your people
any
don't.
sort of,
Most
do
of
they
your
have
people
any sort
aren't
of defences we'll have to get through?
Normal ship defenses, if there is still an occupied armed force on board. Otherwise, I mean, it's functionally a large stationary ship.
So it's possible there could be survivors.
Or they could be all orcs
We have no information.
or goblins.
We have
or...
no idea what has happened to that sphere. We don't even know how it was overrun or what details. We just presume it was, since if it wasn't, one of the members of the fleet that was stationed there would have eventually found their way to us.
These these temperature fluctuations that you said during the spear, are these things that we're going to have to be prepared for, or is something that can be avoided?
Oh, it's just the asteroid belt's super cold, and that's it, right?
It's the sphere itself is warm, but not blazingly hot. So it should just feel like perhaps a warm summer's day, rather than anything else. So if you prepare for that, you should be fine.
Okay. No extremes that we have to worry about.
Not that we have a note of. No.
Okay.
So, do you basically want us to start at tier space and just fan out from there and see if we can find it?
That's up to you guys to figure out.
If we should look for another settlement somewhere that might give us more information, possibly.
Well, here's the thing. They've already scoured tier space, and they've probably been checking. I don't know. Have you been checking ever since you said to the initial search?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
I asked, had they been checking since they did the initial search for it?
We do not have so many ships that we can just willy-nilly search space, but we do maintain documents on known phlogiston rivers, and we certainly do check them. If we had discovered another route to the sphere by now, we would have certainly had a record of it.
Okay.
All right. So,
I'm thinking that there's probably another way into the spheres if it had been overrun by goblinoids in the war. Probably came in that way rather than the way that you guys knew about.
Well, I mean, the war was raging, goblins were everywhere. I currently do not have all the documentation on what the phlogiston rivers from that sphere led to. Our normal route getting there was through tier space, and that is the one that was no longer.
Yeah.
Do they have a? So they said that the Phlogiston River changed, right?
Or the sphere itself moved.
Or the sphere itself moved. Is he able to mark out like the location of like the river that they would use to take from tier to get there?
Yeah.
And maybe possibly be able to mark the point on which it should have been there, and then maybe we can start from that point and search along that area.
The problem is that distance in the phlogiston is unmeasurable.
But there's markers, right?
Not
necessarily like.
There are
not
sometimes
necessarily
there are things called flow beacons, which are older than
Which we
anyone
ran it.
knows. You
Which we ran it.
yeah, you encountered one, and they appear to be stable, and they appear to mark stable phlogiston rivers. So they can be used as landmarks, but he will tell you that there were no flow beacons on the route from tier space to Alavar space.
I assume that if we manage to get to this base and there's any documentation, you'd want us to bring it to you or another elven settlement.
Indeed, of course.
I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna find it. It's not.
Start from last known point and then work out from there.
Yeah. So the problem with the when I say that distance in the phlogiston is unmeasurable, it means that you can go down a phlogiston river for 10 days, and depending on the phlogiston river, you could have traveled 10 million miles or a billion miles. Because other than the crystal spheres and the flow beacons, there's no way to measure distance, and there really isn't even a way to measure speed.
Ald,
Yes?
what do the crystal spheres look like from the outside?
Black marbles. Solid
Black
black
marbles.
yeah.
So it wouldn't be a thing where we can look for like a constellation type of thing,
No.
or
No, because
Okay.
you really can't see them until you're close enough.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, so once you're out in the once you're basically like more than a day away from a crystal sphere in the phlogiston, you can't see the crystal spheres anymore. So what like if you've got a trip through it's going to take 10 days through the phlogiston. Once you're a day away, all you see is the phlogiston. You do not see distant crystal spheres out there. There is a rumor of a place where you can see half a dozen crystal spheres all clustered together, but no one knows where that is, and it's a legend. It's a rumor.
Oh, okay. Well, probably if we just kind of get close to this place, maybe this god that keeps on like poking into my brain during my naps or my rest will give me more of an idea what to look for.
Perhaps.
He really wants us to find.
If we find this base of yours and it's being occupied by hostile forces,
So I'm drawing a
hold on,
picture here.
hold on.
Sorry.
Big Mac, go ahead. Braxon.
if we find this base of yours and it's occupied by hostile forces, do you want us to destroy it? Do you want us to just drive them off and leave it empty?
For now, you'll have to use your best judgment. We have no idea what the situation is and have no real way of making a recommendation to you.
Okay. Is there...
I mean, if you have to destroy it, destroy it. Obviously, if it can be salvaged, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, well, presumably we can't split it up and fly it out the sphere. Or can we?
Not unless you had a lot of time and a lot of helms.
Right. So we can't really move it. It would just be that if we can find a reliable phlogiston river and chart that we can give you a way to get back to it.
Indeed.
You said that the plants were there was a plant that was lightly populated by elves.
Indeed.
Maybe they could, if we were to move some of them to the place.
Well,
In the
here's the
meantime?
thing. Here's
If
the
we
thing.
were to get it cleared up.
We don't. The elves might be all dead.
That is sort of what we expect. If they... I mean, we made contact with them. They had at least a handful of helms at the outbreak of the war. If they were alive and capable, they would have found their way to us.
Hmm.
Well,
It's possible that they have been enslaved, however.
Hmm.
There's many possibilities.
All right. Well, we'll just have to find it out, figure it all out. Is there any other information you can give us?
Not really. I mean, I can give you some more information about the base itself. It served sort of as a hospital ship. We did not expect the war to enter that sphere at all. We believed it sufficiently far from the battle lines, but apparently we were wrong. Many injured convalescing elves were located on that base at our last communication with it.
All right. I guess we'll take what charts we can, and that you're able to provide. And
Okay. He does give you a chart of the crystal sphere itself. He gives you a chart that leads to tier space, and then would lead to Alavar space if that Phlogiston River still existed. And Yeldan, you were trying to ask something.
Yeah, I'm doing a little drawing here. So there is there any I would ask, is there any fucking sorry, but the idea is was there any rivers close to the old one that led other crystal spheres? That's what I'm trying to get at.
The Phlogiston rivers from Alavar space led to other crystal spheres, and not ones that we had explored to any great degree, not ones that held any significant strategic interest to us, and not ones that we know other routes to.
No, I was asking from tier space. Were there any rivers next to the one that used to go to Alavar space, tier space?
No, the Phlogiston doesn't quite work that way.
I kind of figured. I just thought it. But if they kind of went in the same direction, they might close.
We wouldn't necessarily know.
Right. The problem is that when you go off in a Phlogiston river, you know, after a day, you really have no real way of knowing what direction you're going in, where you're going, how far you're going, anything like that. I mean,
That's
you can
fair.
just set off into the Phlogiston, not on a river, and hope to, get somewhere. And generally, you will eventually get somewhere.
If you survive.
Well, yeah.
like I said, if
Presumably
this god thing wants us to get there, hopefully it'll poke around my head and tell us.
Well, let's get to tier space then, I guess.
Well, I don't think any elven deities are going to be poking around your head in the Phlogiston.
That is true. That is true.
Maybe once we get to tier, we can find out. What's in tier?
It's there's a planet called Tyr. It's the sphere is named after it. It has some elves, humans, dwarves, the usual sorts of races. The rest of the sphere itself is not particularly of note.
Okay. Would it be a place where we can restock on supplies?
Yes, it would.
Okay, so they're aware of Spelljammer
Yes.
people.
Yes. And the elven nations there are members of the Imperial Navy.
Is there a way we can get like some sort of letters or something, or papers that say, "Hey"?
Letters of introduction, you mean?
Yeah, or
Indeed,
something
indeed.
like that.
We can certainly provision you with that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Just in case we meet any, if we do manage to rescue someone, they're not going to know who on earth we are.
Yep.
So, some sort of papers would help. They're not even going to know what's happened since they've been attacked.
Well, also, if there's any survivors.
Mm.
Also, there's a possibility Higgimus was asking tier, right?
I'm sorry?
Higgimus was asking for tier, right?
Yeah.
For resupply there.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, if the possible survivors. Suppose they could have destroyed them but lost all their ships. But we don't know.
Does anybody else have anything?
No, thank you, sir. You've given us lots of helpful information.
I certainly hope that it would be it has been of benefit to you. You had a question, Lafdul?
I kind of do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
He did mention about the elf. Could he give me something something that does he know of major elven cities? Because a personal question for Lafdul. Maybe you just don't realize this yet.
Elven cities in Alavar space?
In anywhere nearby.
Well, I mean, he can give you the main elven port on Tyr.
Yeah, that'll do, I guess.
Yeah. So he gives you that. I don't have that right now.
No, that's fine. There's just so I could say later on that Lafdul knew about this place or something.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, indeed. I will certainly have someone write up those letters for you if you would be willing to wait a short time.
Oh, we still have to wait on our ship.
Yeah.
Well, no, he means wait right here for a time, as opposed to come back.
It'll take him 5-10 minutes to get it done.
Yeah, well, depending on what other people have to do work-wise.
Yes, we can wait.
While you're waiting, another low-ranking elf comes up to you and says, "Would you be planning to head back to Brawl before the rest of your trips?"
Do we have to go back to Brawl?
I think we'd be.
Is Brawl on the way to Tyr space?
Let me see.
Yeah, you don't have.
Can you show us the map of the crystal spheres?
Not sure if I have tier space on there right now.
Oh no, you can ping. So
You could ping where Tyr space would be.
Well, actually, is Brawl on the way to Tyr.
Is that in the opposite direction?
It is a route that you could take. I mean,
It's a route we could take.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to you could also just swing by there to replenish supplies or do other things on your trip, so.
Okay. We possibly could. We hadn't decided that yet.
Okay.
As well as
Yeah.
person.
We are supposed to be rescuing Beloriana. Perhaps you could come along with us and go to Brel afterwards. Do you need to go straight to Brel?
No, he's not asking to be taken there. He's specific. I mean, if you're gonna ask him if he's going there, he will tell you that. Oh no! It's not about going there. It's about whether you'd be willing to deliver some more documents.
Right.
How important are these documents?
Oh, they're the standard documents. If you're not going to brawl, then we can certainly find someone else.
The direct route to tier probably wouldn't go through brawl, though, right?
No. No, it would not.
No, we're not.
I'm probably not, because we want to get this done.
Yeah, we should keep to the task at the moment.
We're kind of on a semi-divine urgency trip here, so I don't think we'll be heading back to brawl unless it's really important.
Understandable. Well, these documents are not incredibly urgent, so they're mostly record copies and the like. If you would take them anyway, and just when you do return.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah,
we can do that.
We could turn them in once we get the brawl after we take care of what we're
Yeah, I was
doing.
going to say, eventually we're going to head back to Brawl, because that's
Yeah, we're going to head back to brawl eventually, of course.
That would be perfect. If you would not mind delivering these to the Imperial Navy there, that would be wonderful.
It might be a couple of months out of date, though.
That's fine. They're not. They're like I said. They're mostly documentary copies for the records office and the like.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
Do you by any chance have any documents you need delivered to tier?
We will check. At the moment, we are. They are. I'll bring you over to the Waterstone map. The headquarters for tier is based out of Gray Space, so no, we would not have any for them. So you can see, I've got tier on the map now.
Wow, that is like opposite ends.
Yes. Oh, good to Crin Space.
Well, you
Gray
wouldn't
Space.
just cut across, yeah. I mean,
yeah, you go straight to the. If you want to go.
Where are we? We're in refuge.
For some reason, I think it's like Stellaris on the waypoints or system.
it kind of is.
Isn't Crin Space weird where only their guides work there?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Grin Space is a crystal sphere where crazy people think they can take lots of iron there and get rich.
So
let's go from realm space to gray space and then the tier.
The distance of the lines is how many days it takes, right?
No.
No.
You can't. Doesn't travel like that.
Right. It's unrelated. The hexes are simply there for me to more easily place these and get the lines in. This is more of a conceptual map as opposed to a physical map. So
the rivers.
Distances, yeah. This is charting out the connections, not their actual physical locations.
Oh yeah, that's why I was asking if the length of the lines had any to do with the time travel.
No,
take time.
I think just skipping from realm space all the way to gray space would be easier than going to hero space in between.
Well, what does the actual chart say? Well,
what's the travel time?
I have that written down elsewhere.
Okay. Anyway, so thank the elf guy for his time. We'll tell this other elf person that yes, we'll deliver this the notes and charts or whatever it is that he has for us, but it will be sometime later, and then we can head off to our ship.
Okay. You still have a few more days on refuge, finishing up, resupplying. You're gonna need to buy more food, I believe.
Yeah.
How
about crew and everything?
Oh, you want to try and hire crew here? I didn't think you.
The issue with hiring crew here is that they would kind of expect regular trips to refuge.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage of going to brawl space.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look at what we have for crew.
Is there any outcasts?
Are we stopping off at Grey Space?
Well, I mean,
guys.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, what we could do is we could see if we can't get crew, we could see if we can get people who will work for passage.
From gray to tier?
From here to realm space.
Take on passengers.
So
Yeah.
people who work.
No, take on people who will work for passage.
Well,
So someone who is able to work as crewman who doesn't want to be crew but who wants to go to realm space.
well, we had a bunch of people with us enough to work a barge. Would that have been enough to work a bow dolphin?
Yeah, we got enough.
We have plenty.
We're filling up the extra space.
How much
Essentially.
water do we consume now with all the plants and stuff?
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
You guys should be able to figure that out. I mean, you know how many crew you have.
I think we'll be fine. We'll fix it once we get back to Brawl eventually.
And then we all died.
It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine.
Okay, so we're operating at 54 crew total.
Yeah, I have it written down. Our crew currently consumes 63 food of air and food. Water's different now because we have plants that also consume water.
Our operational max is our ship can use 70 crew though. We're currently at 54.
You can put more on for shorter voyages. But yeah, that's standard crew.
So
I
perhaps
think
we should go to Brawl Space to get more crew. I know what you said, Braxon, about maybe taking people on to do trips and that sort of thing, but they're not going to want to stay with us to tier space and then on to the void to find a lost thing. Yeah.
We could see if anyone wants to work passage to realm space or brow space. Oh, we're just going to fly past realm space again, are we?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Like we did last time.
Well, I mean, if you were gonna take people on to go someplace, and
no, because that would mean we have to land. We'll take on passengers for. We'll take on people who
Do
want
we
to work
need to
passage
take on
brow.
passengers?
Maybe we don't need to. I'm not talking about passengers. I'm talking about people who will work passage.
temporary crew. He's talking about temporary crew.
I know.
Temporary
I'm not sure we need that.
We can probably.
Well, we
get away
don't
with
need it, but it makes our situation better. I think that's what he was trying to
Well,
emphasize.
statistically, what would be the difference between having the crew we have now and having a full crew?
What do you mean
people-
statistically? I mean, it means
As in,
that
how would that help us out if we ended
More
up in a
combat
combat
power.
situation or something?
it means that you have a bigger cushion if people get killed on the trip. Less of a chance of being undercrewed.
And how many crew members would we need to lose to be undercrewed?
Let's see. Oh, that's not there.
Yeah, because I can't see that thing very well.
And we also have weapons to man.
much-
12. 12 out of 70 is a minimum crew.
Well, then we have quite a bit of a buffer already.
Well, but keep in mind also that you have the dolphin shuttle.
I was gonna ask, how much does Lafdul, how much water does his plants?
I think he's just at one per day.
One?
Yeah.
That'd be. I don't know if the spices I got consume one water. I'm gonna.
No, you're not up to the full 5x5 plant coverage, so it's any portion thereof is one per day. So
Okay, so that means we just one.
What, for all of them?
water.
yeah, well total.
Uh-huh.
You need one man day's worth of water per 5x5 area of plant cover is what I decided.
And that provides one extra day of air.
It will replenish air over time. I need to go back and look to see what I calculated for that. So your
Or
dolphin
can we-
shuttle requires a minimum of 4 people to fly it. So if you wanted the battle dolphin itself to fly and the shuttle to fly, then you're talking 16 people. Now that's with none of the weapons manned.
We don't have a time limit on this, right?
Not
no, but
not
we
a hard
do-
time limit, no.
Then
Well-
I think. How about this? How about we go to Brawl Space, pick up more crew, and then head to Tier Space?
Might
Could
be
we
a good
pick up
idea,
more
actually.
crew at Hero Space or Gray Space without having to worry about them wanting to go back, or even Tier Space?
Well, the problem is that most of these people, you know, they're most crew members have family, either, you know, siblings, parents, children, wives. That, you know, I mean, this is why they're sailors.
That is why I think we should do a quick stop at Brawl Space, and then pick up more crew, and then leave as soon as we possibly can to head to Tier Space.
All right, let's do that then.
Yeah, because I guess Brawl Space is 2 out of the way.
And
I'll
we
be
can
honest.
we can turn in that thing we got from the elves.
Sure.
That counts as kind of a quest, so we get XP.
That's true. All right. Well, if we're gonna go, if we're gonna go back to Brow Space, we can see if they've got any messages for Tia.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But
sounds good.
what I heard, if I remember correctly, they probably won't. If we were gonna, it's Grace. If the outpost in Gray Space is what sends information to Tier Space. So
Okay. Well, we can see if Brow Space has got any packets for Grey Space, because we might pick up some information in Grey Space that's more up to date.
Oh.
If
For
they're
now-
closer, if they're in charge of Tia.
All right, sounds good. Let's
Yeah.
action it.
Okay. So you guys head back to your ship. Start making the preparations. Let's see. Let me. I had a list of prices for food because you are, with what you had
Yeah,
on
we
your
need
old
more.
ship, you're pretty substantially under capacity on food.
84,000.
And I had a.
Do we want to
price-
get some extra water since we have a slightly increased consumption of water?
Basically, just, I don't know, just put like 10% above.
It's only 1 extra.
Water is more useful than food. Can be used for many things.
Okay.
That's-
Like,
Do you guys remember roughly how much you had on the old one?
It was somewhere in the thousand something.
1 second.
About probably
We'll plot
14,000. Because I was the one in charge of that. I remember. Man.
Okay, for food, is that what you're talking about, Old?
Yes.
We had 3,561.
Left. Okay. I was way off then. That must have been what I magnused then, is what I remembered.
This is according to what we have on the card.
All right. Give me just a second.
Yeah, I did adult or it on.
Yeah, presumably we'd have used some up on the Liberator.
I'm gonna mute myself while I do math because I forgot to do my
Oh.
share.
Okay. So
The Liberator's
Oh, wait,
actually
wait.
got different numbers on.
Okay, let's use the one on the Liberator. Sorry, I apologize. I was looking at the bubble. So it was 3,967.
So 3,009.
all right. Hold on. All right, so I'm just gonna say that some of that over time. I mean, you've been here. You've eaten some of it. Some of it may have spoiled. 3,600 is what you can put on, and it will be 500 gold pieces per 2,400 man days of food. This includes water.
I just remembered something. I need Level to do something for me.
Can it wait?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, let's wait. I mean, because I'm not gonna like kick you off the planet. We'll have time to do some other last minute stuff if there's purchasing or other things that you guys want to do.
Okay, so you said we're at 36.
Yeah.
We're just at 3,600.
1,000. Okay.
So for 1,000, you can get up to the 8,400
Capacity.
basic standard capacity of the dolphin.
For 1,000 gold.
Yes.
Are we gonna? Do we want extra water?
Yes.
Do you want extra food or water?
We're just going to Brow first, so we can restock once we get to Brow, and then restock again for Tier, and we can be over capacity once we get to Tier.
Okay.
Or after we leave Tier, let's go do the over capacity thing.
Is their food excessively expensive here and not?
I'm just
fit
using the
for
same.
keeping?
I'm using the same price for refuge
Then
and brawl.
we should get the food now. You never know when you're going to hit a Sargasso or something.
Well, I mean, you're up at the normal capacity of the ship. I mean that.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. 84,000.
I mean, I'm not going to say that 8,400. I'm not going to. If you start getting excessive, then I might start having some of it go bad and stuff.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about going over.
Well, but
We're just topping off.
yeah,
That's what we're doing.
You're topped off. You've gotten up to
Yeah.
the full
Cool.
amount.
No, I thought Higgimus was talking about not buying food until we got back to Brow.
No,
Sorry, I misunderstood.
what I'm talking about is people were talking about over capacity food and water and stuff. And it's like,
I was just asking
No.
water.
Yeah, no, all right. We've gotten it figured out. All right. So, any last things? Ockar wanted Leva to do something. Does
I
other
need
people
her
have
to
stuff to?
re-identify my longsword.
Yeah,
Can I do
there's
that?
something.
Re-identify?
Yeah, you went up a
You
level.
can. You went up a level.
Okay, let's do it then.
So that's 100 gold pieces?
Yep.
Okay.
Do other people have items that they want to re-identified that either
I
were
think the
failed or?
amulet.
I got my ring of animal command. Question. I think.
Yeah, you probably want that to have another look at.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Lafdul wanted something.
The necklace, I think it had like one charge unidentified or something on it.
All right. Hold on a second.
no,
The
that
necklace that
necklace
you
was
just picked up. That you just picked that up.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
That was
can't get
after
ring.
she leveled up.
Alright.
Well, Braxon's got that.
Okay,
That
let's do
ring
one
with
at a
the weapon
time. Let's do one at a time for now.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Cox Crow first, since I paid.
Yeah. So Leva re-examines that, and this time her identified does reveal that it is a sword designed to slay reptilian creatures, and also that it has a specific power designed to aid you against gaze attacks.
Oh,
Neat.
Oh, that would have been
Yes.
helpful in the last battle.
Not really. Those aren't gaze attacks.
No, they're not.
Guess who gets to fight the Medusa?
it's
Oh,
a mirror
basilisk.
sword.
Oh yeah,
And
Ockar probably keeps his shield tiny enough it could be used as a mirror.
One thing that the identify reveals is that it is not an active power. You have to invoke it.
Is there like a command word?
You just invoke it.
How do I invoke
like
it?
Higgimus does with his sword.
Yeah, you just mentally
He
invoke
doesn't-
it with your mind.
Okay. Gotcha.
Lara would like to re-identify this one. I think she used that before. It's,
Okay.
That's 100.
That
get a hint?
that wand is not yet. You'll need to actually use the sword more, Ockar. Leva, the identify spell this time reveals that it is a wand designed to extinguish flames.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
we've been using charges on it as well.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know.
Yes, you have.
Have we?
Yes, you have.
It's got weaker.
Let me see.
Oh god,
Let me
that's
see.
hilarious.
Give me a second.
Oh, we've been using like how many charges? 3, 4? Because I used it twice. How many times do you use it, Ever?
Let me
Oh.
see. I used it at least. I used it more than once. I know because I used it on the ground. I used it on an object, and I used it on myself. So I used it 3 times at least.
It is still moderately charged.
Okay.
Well,
That's
now we
good.
know which one of us has to go fight the Medusa.
Why?
Because you have a
I'm
sword.
the one with gaze protection.
Never's got a spell of gaze reflect, if you remember. Do you have it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you getting that one.
Just a moment.
Like, well, she doesn't know her spell list off the top of her head.
No, I don't. I have too many spells. What
I
level
thought
do you know?
I think it was a low level spell, like first or second.
I think next up is
No, I don't.
Yeldan's ring.
Yeldan's
Anyone
ring.
else could fight.
Leva is not able to tell any more information about that.
What about Higgimus's ring?
Cool.
The one that had another enchantment on it.
Yeah, I puts that in the thing.
Puts that in that thing.
Okay.
So you're being arrested for crime against English.
Give me a second. Let's see. I need to double check to see if it actually is able to be further identified. Okay, yeah, no, it can. This is gonna wear out, use up the identify spell, but the spell reveals that this ring has powers over the element of water. And that's where the identify spell
Command
expires.
elements or something, maybe.
I'll be right back. I have to check something.
Do you want to keep trying to identify it further?
She.
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay, that's another
I'll do it.
100 gold. Oh, interesting. On a roll of 10 on a d20, you can never actually get a wild surge. Interesting.
Hmm?
I'm just doing the wild surges. Checking for wild surges, I mean.
Okay.
Alright.
That's interesting. On all the tables, 10 is no wild surge.
Yep.
Interesting.
Alright, so, Leva, you're not able to tell anything further about the ring, unfortunately.
Sorry, Higgimus.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Anyone
Any
else have any
others?
items?
Yeah, because the pearls still go.
I can't tell. I can't tell whether we identified everything about my items.
I think everything was identified about the sword of Baradan. The other sword was recently picked up. Was she able to identify the what? I can't remember if the pale metal ring with Spire Designs was fully identified.
Let me see.
I mean, I've got rings that I assume are rings of protection. But I didn't have an enchantment.
I mean, well, Yeldan, you've got the that ring with spiraling designs. Are you wearing it?
Yeah, that's my current one of the 2 rings I'm always wearing.
Okay, and what do you believe it does?
Protection magic defense bonus.
All right, then yes, you've identified that.
Okay.
Anything else?
Braxon, that rod of yours.
Yeah.
No, the rod's been fully identified.
Oh,
that's.
that's.
Yes.
I haven't used the last charge.
I haven't used the last button. I'll press that button next time I get in a fight.
And you haven't tried any of the other abilities on it.
It has some abilities that don't need buttons.
Didn't you? What about? Did you get your boots and the bow identified? Because that's 2 items I know you've got.
Yeah, and there's a silver ring I've got. I got a ring of cold resistance, and there's another ring that does something to do with weather.
Oh, you got the lightning resistance ring or something, wasn't it? Or weather resistance or something. Was that identified as that?
I presume it was.
I mean, you can always try to re-identify. I mean, things that you've identified in the past may have been misidentified, and you can try and identify them again, and see if they get if you get confirmation. At the same time, you might try and re-identify it and then fail the roll and get a misidentification on the second time.
Yeah.
A question. It's this ring, this Mario Baba ring, the ring T. Could that be identified?
It's not magical.
It's not magical.
It just has an effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Braxon mention something about a weather ring?
Yeah, some sort of protection from weather. Which Lafdul thinks is a protection from lightning ring.
So do you want that identified?
Yeah, just get confirmation on it, might as well.
Yeah, okay. Braxon goes off and buys.
Nope,
Never
nope.
applied.
You've got.
Already,
Yeah, you still have.
yes, that's why we're doing it.
All right. The identify reveals that that ring is designed to preserve your body heat.
Oh, so if you
That's
go
a good
into
ring.
if you go into a cold climate, like if you're trying to climb Mount Everest or something, it keeps you warm.
Oh, it's hot in the Sahara, does it? It keeps you cold.
Did you want to try and identify that other ring again? The ring cold resistance? I mean, you were mentioning it.
So one that preserves body heat and one that protects you from the cold. They kind of work together, don't they?
Maybe.
One would overwrite. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go for the other one.
Okay. The identify reveals that that is a ring that grants you some additional basic defense.
Oh, it's a ring of protection.
Yeah.
Not a
We
ring
have-
of cold. Well, it could be. It was It could have been. It was misidentified, or now it's being misidentified.
So it's not a ring of cold resistance, it's a ring of protection.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Defense.
The only way to know is to try it out and see what happens when you get hit by an ice cube.
Hey, Leva, do you have a Frost Fingers spell to use on Braxon?
I've got a 1 damage cold dagger, but I don't know if you'll be able to resist
Well, Braxon wore them while being attacked by fire, and then they didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, well, cold resistant doesn't do anything against fire.
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Is
I
there
can
any-
get the... I've got a cold dagger. Should I just tap it against your arm, see if it hurts you? It's only a point of damage. Jesus Christ. This fighter with like 50 hit points, it's like, oh, no! It'll scar me.
Go on then.
Lafdul stabs Braxon with the dagger. Killed enchantment. No,
Real
he
fast,
doesn't really.
are you wearing both rings right now, or are you going to try this like one ring at a time?
Braxon's already wearing both the rings.
Right. Well,
Lafdul
so
would
that's
say 1 ring.
One ring only.
Yeah. I'll try it on both arms, 1 on each arm.
well. All right. So let me know. I mean, you got to
I
tell
mean
me what you're
dagger
doing.
use.
Yeah,
Take a
I
ring
know.
off
I
and
know
try
you're
it.
planning to hit. Try the cold on Braxon to see what happens. The question is, Braxon, are you wearing both? Are you going to wear both your rings for this, or are you going to wear one, try it, wear the other one, try it? I need to know.
He'll wear both first,
Okay.
and then he might take one off or the other one off. If he
Okay.
still gets hurt with both of them on, he's not going to do it again.
All right. And Lafdul, are you just you're invoking the cold and then just like pressing it up against his arm, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Braxon, while wearing both rings, you feel fine. In fact, I mean, it's you feel a little twinge of cold on the arm, but you're unhurt.
So Braxon opens his eyes and says, "When are you going to do it?"
No, you
So
you could feel the pressure on your arm, and you could feel that it was cold, but it didn't hurt.
I'm joking. Okay.
Shame I don't have anatomy. I try and roll anatomy for somewhere more vulnerable.
Oh, every guy has it a very.
Okay.
Yes,
That's-
well, that's what I'm saying, roll anatomy.
So, all
That's
right.
pretty good.
So what
Thank
do
you,
wanna do?
Lever. Just be happy that it protects me.
You don't know which ring's protecting
Right.
you. Though. Take one
You,
ring
you
off.
don't know if one of those is misidentified or not.
Okay, Braxton takes off the silver ring with the malachite stone, which is the protection from weather,
Okay. And then Lafdul, you're gonna touch him with the cold blade again.
Uh-huh.
All right. Braxon, you take a point of damage as the incredible cold from his blade just infuses your arm, and it is rather painful.
Just
Ow,
the
don't give him
doll where he
frostburn.
touched you with the cold blade.
That is not a ring of cold resistance.
Yeah. Remember when I was making a point about Higgimus bashing through that wall of ice and how incredibly cold it was after you gave him the supposed ring of cold resistance?
Oh my.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, so Braxton puts on the other ring, and then
That's
takes off the ring of not cold.
So what's that ring? A ring of protection.
Probably a ring.
It's a ring of protection, like the one I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ring of protection. So yeah, you thought you had a ring of cold resistance for quite a while.
Can I do first aid on him? Just get his hit point back.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you got plenty of time. A day of rest would restore it too.
Yeah, I know, but I feel bad.
And everyone should be at full hit points right now.
Yeah, I've had my full 42.
Okay.
Yeah. Braxton was at full hit points.
You
How
are
many hit
now.
points do you have, Braxton?
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that people want to try and re-identify?
I think all of my items are correctly identified now.
I'm pretty sure all the items I have are correctly identified.
Are your boots identified, Brian?
Yeah, these new boots I've got.
Okay. Yeah, you did get those long enough ago that she's gone up a level. So let's see. All right. The identify spell reveals that those boots are made for walking.
That's just what they'll do.
Jump.
You
They're gonna walk all over you.
Do you want to keep see if it has any other powers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boots of-
Those boots are
Long
also
march.
made for jumping.
So their boots are
Okay.
springing and striding.
So Braxton jumps up in the air.
You're gonna try to jump as high as you can.
Are we in a room?
Jump onto
Yes.
a roof.
You are in a room.
You might want to go outside the Braxton.
We're on
If
a
it's
ship.
anything Like,
Yeah, you're on the ship.
Jump up onto a mast or something.
Braxton will try to jump. I
Or
can't
up
remember
onto the
next.
rope ladder.
Just go up
towards the crow's
go
nest.
up onto the deck and see how high you can jump.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
go onto the deck and try not to jump out into the phlogiston.
Yeah,
into
no,
the.
you just
wild
jump
space.
straight up. Gravity's gonna
you
pull
can.
you back down. You find
not
that
even his air envelope.
you find that you can leap a good 15 feet straight up in the air.
Nice.
Braxton, I have an idea. Get her to further identify the rod that can change
No.
shapes.
Yeah, it's
It's already
been
Maybe
been
identified.
cards we don't know it has yet.
We
we
haven't
already
used
fully.
it.
No. Identify the rod that he uses to change into a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been fully identified. We already talked about that earlier.
Right.
Oh, it was fully identified.
Yeah, it was fully
Okay.
identified. Whether or not you guys have remembered all of the different abilities is maybe up in the air. And you certainly haven't
Braxton should
used most of them.
One of them restores life, whatever that entails.
It
we
takes
have-
life from one thing to gives it
Yeah,
something else,
does something like that.
like a vampire drain or something.
Now, Braxton, as you are experimenting around with those boots, you kind of find yourself now that you're trying to use them, you find yourself like almost bouncy with them. Like you feel like you could just leap and dodge about quite well.
Wow.
Oh, so bonus to AC. It sounds like.
Okay,
Maybe
so
even be able to like get in and get out of a striking range of someone really fast.
Well, there's some pretty
Wow.
amazing boots
Oh.
you got there.
Just leap into
AKA
combat.
not take an attack of opportunity.
Braxton's going to try running from the command deck up to the top deck where the shuttle is and back down to the command deck, see if you can get up and down any faster.
You're just running?
Yeah. I jump up the stairs, whatever, 2 at a time.
You find that you can definitely very easily jump up and down the stairs. And you also find that you think that you could actually move, maybe not faster than normal, but it feels like, you know, even with your armor on and everything like that, you feel like you could move at your normal pace, even while carrying a lot.
Use that full move speed.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically that means
really
that
good.
you will always be able to move at your full movement speed. Now, that said, combat penalties for encumbrance will still apply. So if you're carrying a lot, you keep your movement, but you will still take any combat penalties.
Cool. Thank you. And thank you, Liver.
All right. Anyone else want anything else?
I have some spells I'd like to learn.
All
if
right.
possible.
Well, let's see. Let's try and finish up the identify spell first. Anything? Anyone else have anything?
We still have charges left.
Yep.
I can't think of anything.
I mean, if there's nothing else, there's nothing else. That's fine.
Did Braxon get that bow identified?
Oh yeah, there's the bow.
Was that not identified before?
We know it's magical. We don't.
Well, I
know
thought
what
it was
does.
more likely to strike, so I would just assume it's +1.
Did you write that
+2
down?
or something. It says on there that someone else wrote down. I copied onto my sheet. A fine bow of you, apparently of halfling make, possibly magic item, more likely to strike.
Then that last thing is the identify. That tells you that it's a magical bow.
That's the hit.
So I guess I just have to actually use it.
Yes.
When I have a combat and not get into a situation where I have to do melee straight away for the entire adventure.
Yep. Well, I mean, you can always hang back.
Braxon, hang back with these boots.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you can jump up somewhere and use the bow now.
All right, so
That's
nothing.
true.
No one else wants anything identified. I mean, it's fine. I mean, okay. All
I
right,
don't think I've got anything.
Leva,
so-
you wanted to learn some spells?
Yep, if possible.
Yeah.
I start off with one spell I want to learn because I need to use another book, another spell book.
Okay.
And that's I wrote down the third spell book with the spells. How do you pronounce that? Drawmage?
Drawmage.
Iron Sack?
Yeah, Drawmage.
Drawmage. Iron Sack.
Okay.
I'd like to learn that one because it's an uncommon spell and yeah.
It makes something have a resistive metal, doesn't it?
I'll make your bag less likely to break
temporary,
when
though.
you fall on it.
It's only a temporary spell, though.
Well, so if you fall down a mountain and I'm fast enough, then you don't break your vials.
All right, go ahead.
Well, they're in another dimension.
Oh God.
Might be getting the flagstone.
We start with D100.
Yep. Actually, because you have that
What is
permanently
it? Less than
enchanted.
80, isn't it?
Should have your.
It's 80%.
Okay.
80%. I take it that hasn't changed on leveling up, has it?
No, that's based strictly on your intelligence, not your level. Okay.
And the number of pages is D6 plus 3 here, isn't it? Wait.
Should be, what level is it?
It's level 3.
All right, so it's always going to be one less than the level.
So +2.
Yeah.
Let me see. D6 plus spell level -1. So it's D6 plus 3 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's easiest to just think of it as always one less level, you know, one. Why did it roll?
Right.
Yeah, why did it roll 2? Only one showed.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's weird. All right.
I only you can say I only rolled 1.
Yeah, no,
D6
it's weird.
They both rolled 4s on anyway, so.
Probably just a
But
glitch.
it counted only 1 because it came up with 6.
Yeah.
Right, just a moment. I need to put that into the pages.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
No, that's deja vu. Is the glitch matrix?
Was that the only spell that you wanted, or were there other ones?
Oh, no, there were plenty more.
Okay.
Now I've got... How many pages are in that book?
Which book?
The book I just learned the spell from. You have the... Let me see. This was... Mad.
I should have given you that.
I'm sorry? You should have
I should have given... I should have told you how many were in it.
That was one of the books that was split into two, remember? And I have I wrote down 2 large spell books containing the following spell, 100 of 100 pages used.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm looking for it.
So I take it 50, 50, 50, 50, I would think.
One. All right, so that's from the first one, the first spell book that had that one had 100 pages. The second one had 50.
Yeah, but this is number 3. Remember, you split them up. There, you said there were more spells than there was space in the books.
Right.
So in the end, I got 4 books.
The book that this one specifically is from is 100 pages.
Okay, so I put down 100. Sounds good to me. I'm not complaining.
I mean, this is one that had catapult, comprehend languages, detect magic, hold portal, etc., 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 down through draw Misha's iron sack.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going through the levels. I'd like to get enlarge.
Okay.
Which I missed last time.
When you say missed, do you mean that you failed to learn it?
No, I missed. I didn't see it in the list of spells.
All right.
It was in the middle of stuff that I already knew.
Okay.
I only see one die now. Oh no, there's a second one behind the tokens. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
So that's okay. And how many pages? That's level 1.
Oh, just
1d6.
6 pages though.
It's a complex spell for you.
Very. It's so difficult, and I'm also tired. Don't forget, I'm tired.
So keep in mind also that when a spell like that is reversible, you get the reversed spell for free as well, and you can memorize either the normal enlarge or you can memorize reduce.
So but it's not just enlarge. It's 6 pages for enlarge and reduce, I guess.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying for her sake that it's like 2 spells for the price of 1.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to roll a chance to learn for reduce. You know it.
Yes.
If you know the main one, you know reduce.
Just a moment. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I get reduced as well, which makes it a total of 18. With all the spells I'd like to learn.
No. So
that doesn't count.
It doesn't count for that.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's one spell. It's one spell. You can memorize it in 2 different ways, essentially.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like I can harm people with my healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you go to memorize, you can either memorize enlarge or reduce.
Okay.
But it's one spell.
I'm just saying, having enlarged Higgimus and him insisting that I reduce him. You have to wait, Higgimus. Sorry. So sorry, Higgimus.
I wonder if you get a wild surge, can it like double the effects?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, next spell is
increasing Higgimus 1 size category is huge already.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't increase his size category. It increases him by a percentage. So right now, Leva is level 6. So if she cast enlarge on Higgimus, he would grow 60% larger, meaning that every single hit that he deals would deal an extra 60% damage. Higgimus,
So
let's say
if
you
he
were
get-
attacking a dragon. Go ahead and just roll your normal damage roll.
3d6.
Is it a large dragon?
Yeah, let's show it's a large creature. Let's say that it's a large creature.
Higgimus, just wait until I learn strength.
No, strength wouldn't do anything for him. He's too
Here,
strong.
Oh, okay.
reduce the
Yeah.
strength. Oh.
Okay, well,
Still, you
it's
get
not a bad
33.
roll. It's not a bad roll. All right, so
You want to times that by 1.6.
yeah, so
So if
that would be
/R
35 damage, right there.
to-
So
Yeah, neat.
Yeah.
We should stick close together, Higgimus. Definitely.
that right?
and yeah, you could actually in such a situation you could actually just do asterisk 1.6 and it'll automatically calculate it.
I don't know if this does bed mass or not automatically though, so you might have to use brackets to do that.
Pretty sure it does. I think I
Which
did this
because
before.
they'll do the multiplication first, then the addition.
You enlarge in Higgimus, and Lafdul can reduce himself and fit in his pocket or something. He shoot his bow out inside Higgimus's pocket.
Yeah, imagine, let me see if how that works.
Because the sixes, the numbers are in the brackets.
Now, does that mean I would actually take 60% more damage too?
No.
No, you
No.
still just take.
You take the normal
creature
damage. You don't have any extra hit points. You're already a large creature, so it doesn't matter. You just deal extra damage. You also technically weigh more.
But I don't think that matters.
Well, it does in situations like if you enlarged and then someone tried to levitate you, or if you needed like 1,000 pounds in order to keep a door from opening. You could be enlarged and then hold that door closed.
Why does it calculate 4 + 1 + 1? There's no 1 + 1 there. There's an 11 there.
It's 4 + 1 + 1 + 11.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure exactly how
that's the 3 dice.
Where
And
did the
he-
1 + 1 come from?
The die roll.
Oh, yes, 3d6. Sorry.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah, 3d6, then plus 11, then times 1.
All right, so next spell that you want.
Prestidigitation.
Okay. Now that one is also a reversible spell.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just see what I can learn it.
Yep.
Yes, I can.
Also, it does look like you would need to put the parentheses around. I just recalculated it out, and that first roll that I did, that's not right. It was multiplying the 1.6 times the 11, but not times the roll. So.
Prestidigitation's a really nice spell, because it's like, oh, clean.
Well,
What's the contrary?
No, I don't know
What's
that you know what prestidigitation is.
Wrong.
What's the contrary of the second spell?
I believe it is fumble fingers.
Okay, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Fumble Finger sounds like it's a really good anti-mage spell.
Yeah.
Next one. Spider climb.
Okay.
Level-
Keep in mind that while spider climbing, you can't cast spells. At
I
least
know.
not spells that
I
have material
decided-
components.
Yeah.
Can you cast it
I
on other
decided-
people?
Yes.
Oh, that's good then.
You're not the only one who can play tricks.
Oh yeah, spider climb on an opposing spellcaster can be pretty mean.
That's why I took it. And the last one of level 1 is still water.
Okay.
Can I shoot a bow with Spider Climb?
I would have to reread it. I don't know. It's never come up.
Cause I'm just thinking if I could like stand and like be like cool.
You might not be able to release the arrow. I'd have to check.
Yeah, that'd be fun if you couldn't loose.
Okay, yeah, it would make sense if I could though.
You'd
Okay.
have to try some kind of other weapon.
No, I
Level
could use
2,
my longsword.
Strength.
I was thinking, for like, cool. I use my ring of jumping to get up somewhere, and then I can like stay there and then shoot arrows from like on high. For like
Do you
a height of
count that as success?
It says success. You hit the
Okay.
number exactly.
Yeah, you need 80 or below, not below 80. Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
just
That was strength, you know.
yeah.
Oh, you just strength is a level is like a level 4 spell, really?
No, level 2.
Level 2. That's +1, isn't it?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, your page number rolls are bad.
Well, why do you think I got another spell book before I started?
Why do you think you need another spell book? Why do you think you need so many spell books?
Exactly. The
And
next
it's-
one that really caught my fancy was Omen,
Okay.
and I'm going to use that too.
Is that the same as my augury?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't think so. Not quite.
No, it's augury is like
No. G-Man, have you read through the Wizard Spell Compendium? Don't assume that the spells mean what they mean in other editions.
Well, no, I was just thinking I was going based off the name, but
You know, I think I should be allowed a reprieve of all these 6- and 7-page spells.
how many pages you got left?
She's
I
got a
just
lot of.
got a 100-page book, so
Yeah.
I got some.
Yeah, she's got a lot of pages left.
I'm
Have
hurrying
you,
through here, so I'm not actually entering everything. I'm entering in another document. So, but I will have to calculate it out. Vocalize.
Have you considered learning shorthand spellcasting?
Yeah, vocalize is a good start.
There you go.
How many days? I'm assuming this is going on during the week of things. How many
Yeah.
spells
this is-
do you learn in that time?
It takes very little time to learn spells from a spell book.
Holy cow, you rolled an 80 on one of those.
Yeah.
Just barely
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was strength too. Strength is a really good spell. It lasts hours.
Next
Yeah.
one is haste. It's level 3 haste.
That strength would actually be a good spell for Yeldan.
Is that what you rolled the
Using
50
Yeldan.
on?
Woohoo!
No, this is what I rolled a 50 on haste.
One of the 2 best combat spells in the game.
But it ages us.
Oh,
Pff, who cares?
who cares?
Seriously.
Unless you're
That's
Higgimus.
The elves won't care as much.
Oh no!
actually-
wait, that's 5. That's 5,
Yeah.
not 4.
Actually, thanks to Leva's generosity, I have a was it a life spell or not spell potion? What's it
Potion
called?
of life extending, or something like that.
Elixir of Youth. It's either
This
an Elixir
is
of Youth or a
all of
Potion of
it.
Longevity. I can't remember which one.
Longevity.
Yes, potion of longevity.
You got one of them.
These are all spells I wanted to learn last time, and I want to learn this time. That's it. I'm gonna have to go through more of the ones in the books, and maybe I come back for more. But now, at the moment, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Wow.
All right. So that basically brings to a close all of your time getting preparations, getting the library constructed on the ship, getting all your supplies. Now, Higgimus, basically every night you've been having the same dream, but after speaking...
Lafdul. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Lafdul wants you when he's
No,
sleeping,
I was gonna say I just used telepathy on him.
Well, he's sleeping.
I
You
don't know that telepathy would really work quite well.
No,
because
it's just like casually playing pranks on him like throughout the week, knowing that this is expected. He's getting these strange dreams. It's like,
Okay, so
do you actually
what-
know? I mean, is Higgimus telling everyone that he's getting these dreams? I don't know if he
no,
is.
if he's not telling me, then I wouldn't have a clue.
yeah,
that's at the Higgimus.
I'd be interested to find out what an elven deity would do to Lafdul if they interrupted a divine message.
I would be interrupted. He would just overwrite me.
So, Higgimus has only mentioned the dreams the time he talked to the old elf guy at on Brow. I think it's the only time he's.
I think...
Oh, I've got an idea. Actually, can I
don't
cast
think-
memory read on him? Because I would get the same experience he gets.
Maybe, but you don't
If
know
he
that
tells
he's
us
getting
about
more dreams.
No, but I could tell him about the spell, so to speak, so I could experience the same effect that he has.
And he's an expert in elven religion.
Maybe. I'm not sure if that would work on dreams, because they're not exactly memories.
But it's not exactly a normal dream.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it whether that would work. I'd have to go read the spell. But Higgimus, after speaking to the elves that night, your dream is a bit different. And tonight, again, you dream and you see the tree with the silvery bark and the silvery leaves again beneath a glass dome. And beyond it, you can see the large white moon in the night sky, stars throughout the sky. But this time you can also see a large snow-capped mountain range beyond the dome. And there's a very unusual cylindrical mountain that appears to be the closest of these mountains. Just the shape just really stands out to you. You don't know what to make of it, whether it's significant or not, but you do take note of some of this terrain that's there. This large cylindrical mountain. It almost looks like it's made of a bundle of sticks or something like that, but stone sticks. It's kind of strange. But these mountains are snow-capped, and you can see outside of the dome a vast forest as well, just immediately surrounding where you are. And that's when the dream ends.
Interesting. Higgimus will kind of, over, you said it's 2 days?
Yeah, this would be...
over our trip back to Brawl, what he'll do is he'll kind of go over all the charts and everything that maps...
Give me an intelligence check.
Else gave us.
Give me an intelligence check.
Can somebody be there to help him?
Nope.
No.
That's a personal thing.
I'm not stupid.
Also,
yeah, you are.
Generally when someone is doing a check, I will tell you if other people can help. This isn't something that is a help situation. Higgimus, you start to get the charts together, and you remember you picked up a chart a while back that was originally written in Goblin.
Uh-huh. Which one was that? Hold on a second.
I hope you wrote some
Did we
notes
get
down on
that
this.
translated with lava using
Yeah,
comprehend
some-
languages?
Oh, no, hold on. Oh, where do I write the charts down? Okay, chart from the Cuddle command was written in Goblin, detailing the route from a spear called Prime Space to Evlar Space. Evlar Space. Which Seeker said sounded elven.
But where's Prime Space?
Yeah, where is Prime Space?
Well, you can
Went
hit up
back to
Refuge
Brawl.
and well, I mean, you haven't left yet. This is still
we
this
haven't
is
left.
happening. You know, this is Higgimus was expecting to be going over the charts on the trip back. He was thinking about it, and it was just like, wait a second, I remember something. And that's what
Alright,
prompted him
so-
to go look at the charts.
We're still in Refuge, right?
Yes, you have not left yet.
Higgimus will say, "Hey, I need to go back to Refuge real quick."
All right,
Look,
this
look,
is
group,
okay.
something there.
this is still the last couple days, so you know.
He hasn't said anything. He's just like, "I need to go back to the elves and talk to them." And he's got a piece of paper in his hand.
Okay.
You got any? Do you want company?
Sure.
Cool. I'll go with.
Lafdul, yeah, the party will tag along. It's just following Higgimus.
Okay. So you return to the elves. You have that. I believe you ended up with a copy of the original one as opposed to the actual original one, and this one was translated.
Presumably, so
translated?
Higgimus can read it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think the Zekas would have translated it for us because I think that's why you gave it to them to have a look at.
Yeah. So I
So,
think that
anyway.
they gave you a translated one.
Once we get to go see him.
Okay.
Are we there?
Yes, you head into the Elven Enclave and the I'm not sure what the proper term would be since this is all Navy. Like, I mean, it's like a secretary position, but you know, looks up as
Higgimus will just say, "Hey, I need to see Esselor. Tell him it's important."
The elf there just kind of like blinks at you for a moment and then says, all right, wait here." And then leaves for a few minutes. Shortly thereafter, brings back Esselor.
Like twitching.
Yeah. Shortly
All right,
thereafter,
so
comes back in with Esselor.
when
Yes,
he
you
comes
needed
back-
to see me.
so when he comes back, Higgimus will slam down the map onto the countertop.
Tears the map
like-
apart.
No, he's not tearing it apart, but he's slapping
It
on the
shatters.
things like. So he goes, "Is this the place I'm looking for?" And he'll point to the spear that's called what was it, Avalor?
Alavar.
Alvar. Is this the place we're looking for?
The Esselor's eyes grow wide, and he looks between you and the chart. You, where did you get this?
So I need to find Prime Space. Do you know where Prime Space is?
Yeah, yes. That's easy enough to find. Where did you get this?
It was on a cuddle command.
What sort of
That was
cuddle command?
blown up. It was.
Oh wait, no, it was. I
No,
think
let
we
him
actually found it on
let
the
him
wall.
tell. Let him tell it.
It was on a kettle command that was blown up. That was a friend of one of the Seekers. What was his name?
We found it in Fort Space, right?
Yeah, it starts with A.
Alp. Yeah. Alp Zeros.
Alp. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say his name.
All right.
Aliceros? Is that how you say it?
Alp Zeros.
Alp Ceros?
Zeros.
Zeros.
It
Alp
doesn't matter.
Zeros.
Doesn't matter.
Yes. It was in Forge space.
This is amazing. The sphere was lost. I mean, yeah. With this, it should be easy enough to get to.
All right. I need Prime's directions to Prime space, please.
I believe that you can get charts for that down in the nautical supplies here on Refuge.
You're not gonna help us with that?
Well, I mean, that's easy enough to purchase.
Okay, fine.
It's like 1 gold piece.
Well, it's not 1 gold piece, but no, I mean,
It's like 100 to 300.
it's
All right.
it's the kind of thing where, you know, I mean, you can go buy charts too. Prime Space is known enough. So yeah,
All right.
I mean, he's like shocked that you have this. Completely shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, come on! You should have expected me to bring that back up at some point.
The DM just reminding us through divine wisdom that we have something that would solve the quest that we don't know about.
Yeah, it was an intelligence check.
So, yeah, we'll go buy the thing now.
Okay. So you head down to the nautical supplies shops on Brawl and find the one that caters to nautical charts and other navigation supplies. And enter, and the shopkeeper looks up. He's in conversation with another, another customer, and says, "I'll be with you in just a moment."
Okay.
What?
While we're here, I'm going to look to see what other church he has.
Okay.
Yeah, Lafdul's case in the joint. Totally.
You're not there, Lafdul.
I'm going.
The whole party's with them.
Yeah.
Are we? I thought Higgimus went on his own.
No, we all went with him.
We
Okay,
all
then.
followed him. We all accompanied him.
So you can
Following the leader.
purchase a variety of nautical navigation tools, charts. Is there anything in particular that you want besides charts specifically to get you to Prime Space?
Just looking to see what other charts he has.
He's got a variety of charts.
Variety of
Of,
charts.
like places to go that we haven't been to, or have charts to.
After a moment, he's finished up his speaking to the other customer, and the customer moves off to look over some other things. Moves over to you and says, yes, how can I help you?"
Yes. Could I, by any chance, purchase charts taking us from here to Prime Space?
Yes, Prime Space. Let's see. Best way to get there would be through Realm Space, Brawl Space, and Path Space. Do you have charts to those locations?
Brawl and Realm Space, yes. Not
so
that other one.
So you need one to Path Space. All right. That's easy enough to do. Let's see. Okay, so he takes you over to some charts and pulls out some large charts that give you the Phlogiston navigation directions to access Path Space, and then one for Prime Space as well. And he says, "All right, these two will run you 400 gold pieces each."
Each, so 800.
Okay.
Not
So is
even
it
gonna
path or
haggle.
path space?
Path Space.
Okay.
Path, like
PATH. You're purchasing those, correct? Both of those?
Yes, both of them.
All right.
And there's a map. Okay, directly. There you go.
Okay, so we could just go to Brawl and then go to Path Space and then to Prime Space.
Mm.
Yeah. Is there any notable ports in Prime Space?
I need to double check that. Give me just a second. So there you go. I believe I got all of the. Yeah. All right. So.
I do love the crystal spheres appearing as if by magic.
It's like
It's starting to look like a weird constellation now.
Mm.
Okay. So Prime Space does have a major mercantile outpost on a small asteroid that's actually very close to the edge of the crystal sphere.
okay. And that's a place we can resupply at?
Yes, that is a place that you could resupply at. And Path Space so far is relatively undetailed, but it's a fairly major known sphere port of call. There's a bunch of planets in there, but none that you're going to care about.
I think I know a perfect
Path
planet.
Space. It sounds like Path. It almost sounds like Path.
Yeah, I was just about to say I know the perfect planet to put in there.
Nope.
No.
No Galarian.
That would be Galarian space anyway. So, just as an aside, there really aren't any detailed planets in there, but Paul Westermeyer places the worlds Astralon, Barara, and the Citadel of the Keepers of Flame there, and I'm perfectly fine going for those. I believe those are from one of the comic series. But unless you guys really, for some reason, want to go in there, I'm gonna leave that undetailed. So.
I'd like to check it out once we're done with Alvar space, but that's just me.
You might have a lot of things to do, and to a certain extent, when it comes to Spelljammer, because every single if you enter a crystal sphere, you almost need to detail the crystal sphere, kind of thing. So unless there's a really, specific story reason, and the other thing is it takes, if you go to gray space and you were to go to Earth, on top of all the time getting to gray space, you're looking at 40 days, I believe. It might actually be more like 80 days to get to Earth itself.
Is that the same with Toril and Realm Space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to land and you're going to say, can we leave now?
Right. I mean, so it takes a really long time to traverse many of the crystal spheres. Refuge and Brawl Space are pretty small. Forge Space was pretty small. But Gray Space, Realm Space, Great Space, Kryn Space, all of these are large spheres comparatively. Path Space and Prime Space would probably also be comparatively large.
Yeah, the only reason we're going to go into Prime Space is to restock before we go to Elder's.
If you need to. You may not need to.
Well, I rather restock just in case everyone's dead.
I'm just saying.
Or it's occupied.
It's
hostile forces.
It comes, yeah. I mean, there is that, but it's going to come down to when we roll the dice for how long we spend in the phlogiston between each sphere. If we roll badly, then maybe we go in and resupply, and if we roll really well, we might just surf on through.
Well, I use that information for unknown spheres or just setting off into the phlogiston as opposed to every single phlogiston river. Some of them have in-game fixed, in canon have fixed travel times,
right,
or relatively
cool.
minor things, and I prefer to do that. Yes.
Vaguely, how many weeks or months is it going to take us to travel there?
All right.
Vaguely. We talking months? Or...
Yes.
Well.
Yeah, you're talking months.
All right. I need
we
to
wanted to
acquire
go from Refuge back to Brawl Space and then take that to Alvar Space.
Okay, don't all talk at once, please.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
No, Ockar, you were talking.
So, our plan of travel is to go from Refuge here to Brawl Space, and then stop at Brawl to pick up more crew, drop off the thing that the elves gave us, resupply, and then fly all the way to Prime Space to whatever resupply we might need to do there, and then go to Alvar Space.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah, so that sounds about it. Is that?
I told you guys that the god would point us in the right direction.
Maybe god... just be religious.
Is there an elven god of ham?
That's me.
Not of ham.
I'm going.
God of pickles.
No.
God of pickles. There's definitely pickles.
All right. So, is there anything else that you guys want to do? Lafdul, you wanted to get a new holy symbol?
Yeah, I kind of do. If I'm going to be out for months, I need a new holy symbol.
Yeah.
Well, we are stopping at Brawl Space.
Yeah.
Just
but this place is new. What's a little risk for Lafdul, eh?
He needs one now.
All right.
Just don't steal anything that gets in trouble for me to come back here.
So what are you looking at?
That nautical store.
Okay.
How well guarded is it?
I mean, there's the shopkeeper, and there appears to be an assistant, who is basically a young man who came out carrying some new rolled up charts, put them on the shelf, and then went into the back room again.
What's he look like? Is he human?
Yeah, they're both humans.
Alright, so it's just so I have a vague idea if I have to emergency change self and try and pull off a bluff. But I know what shape to change into.
Okay.
Alright, now I'm just casing out the jet at the moment, so I am gonna go there back there tonight or something.
Ah, okay. All right. You're going back tonight. All right.
Magic.
Well,
Defense.
so here's the problem with going back at night is that your
What?
dolphin.
Is there a curfew?
Well, no, there isn't a curfew, but the dolphin isn't docked at refuge. It's in orbit, and the dolphin shuttle is what you get from the battle dolphin to refuge. So essentially, what's been going on is that you go in the morning, pick up the workers who were working on the ship, fly back to the battle dolphin. They work, and then at the end of the day, their day, you would shuttle them back onto refuge. They'd go back to their homes. In the meantime, on that first trip in, anyone who had things to do in the day would go in and go purchasing, and then at the end of the day, they'd meet up with the dolphin shuttle and go back.
So no one spends any time at the taverns before going back to the ship or whatever?
Well, I mean, you could if you want to say to everyone, "Hey, can you guys wait a little bit longer in port tonight?"
Yeah,
Okay.
totally saying that. Cough.
I mean, what excuse are you giving then?
Lafdul's like, well, we're going to be out in Flodgestone for a few days, so Lafdul's going to enjoy his time here while he can. So, do you want to spend some time at the pubs or whatever? It's going to be very boring on the ships for a couple of months.
Sounds interesting. What pub did you want to take us to?
I don't know, just go pub crawling.
Are you paying for this?
Lafdul will pay for certain dares. He will encourage dares.
Are you paying for drinks?
I'm going to pay for some drinks, yeah, probably.
Okay, then.
Cheapskate paladin.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing, so I'm just getting...
No, I'm just giving making them an excuse while I disappear for like half an hour or something. I'm just going to say I met someone and I wandered off somewhere for a little while.
Okay,
Without
so
interpretation.
all right, so you guys go find a tavern and start drinking, and now Lafdul, you're gonna slip away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drinking in moderation.
He's gonna go back to that nautical shop, see if how guarded is it? Is it still open or what? Is it closed?
At this point, it is not open. It is closed. The door is locked.
Alright, what's the surroundings like?
This is more of a market section, so all the buildings are right up to, next to each other, wall to wall kind of thing, along a street. All of the storefronts are spaced back from the street about 10 feet. Some of them have little gardens. Some of them clearly are, have paved areas where during the day they would set out some wares and stuff like that, to be more eye-catching for passersby, that sort of thing. This one seems to have more of a pretty basic, well cared for but nothing special garden with a hedge out front, leading up to the front door, and it does appear that most of these places are 2 to 3 stories with what you'd guess is either more workshops or living quarters up above.
Yeah. Not that I can remember too much of that. There's a lot to take in at short notice. Is there any back alleys or anything to this house? You
start looking around, and yeah, there is a back alley you do find. It looks like a place where garbage is placed until it's collected, and deliveries are made, so they stay off the main
attempt
street.
to hide in shadows and go towards the back alley.
All right, what's your hiding shadows?
Conspicuous. It's only like 45, I think. Might be 40. I'm just being inconspicuous, just going between the alleys if I can.
Okay.
Alright, he looks around. He knows there's Giff patrols. Does he see any Giff patrols?
And you did say 45?
Yeah, 45.
Okay. All right, confirm that. Okay. You head into the the alley, trying to be inconspicuous. There are Giff patrols. They kind of go by every 20 minutes or so, it looks like.
All right.
You're not sure that they have specific patrol routes that you're not sure about.
No, Lafdul's going to be as quick as he can about this. All right, is there a back entrance to this place?
Yes, there is. Each of the buildings appears to have a back entrance.
How apparent am I?
You don't know.
I mean, is the street well lit up? How often is it walked? Are people leaving the back doors to houses?
This area is not particularly well lit. But
I do a listen check at the door as well.
There are stars in the sky and they're pretty bright, so it's but there's no moon. All right, so you're gonna do a listen check at the door.
Yep, my listen is 40. 45 from using the brass one.
Are you using that?
Nah, because it'd be too obvious.
Okay, so just 40.
Yeah.
All right, you don't hear anything inside. No movement or anything like that. There aren't any windows on the back wall.
No.
No.
I cast knock and I open the back door.
Okay. The door squeaks open. Not
squeaks open.
Not very loud, but yeah, it does sound like the hinges needed to be oiled.
Ugh.
Okay. But the door is open.
Can I look around quickly?
This appears to lead into a workshop area, a drafting area. There's drafting tables with large sheets of parchment and vellum, tools like compasses.
All right, I look for a compass. That's it. That'll do.
Okay. All right. There's a variety of compasses laid out.
I just go for a compass.
Okay. Well, what's your move? Are you trying to move silently? It's a wooden floor.
Would I know if reducing myself make me lighter?
Since reduce does not specifically say that it has any effect on move silently checks, I'm going to say that it's not going to have any effect on move silent checks.
Yeah, but if you're light enough, you don't creak the floors.
I mean, yeah, reduce.
Actually, no.
Lighter,
can I?
but
how long does it take?
It would be harder to actually like pick up and carry something.
All right. How long does it take for me to invoke my ring?
Which ring?
The one of telepathy.
You mean telekinesis?
Yeah.
It's
telekinesis.
Pretty quick.
I motion one of those compasses over to my hand.
Oh, okay. So you're basically just standing in the doorway.
Well, trying to hiding around the corner of the door. The door's slightly ajar.
Right. Okay. So, but you're still in the alley rather than in the, like, you haven't gone into the building. You just opened the door and now you're just trying to telekinesis a compass over.
I'm going to go slightly into the building.
Okay.
Like in the doorway.
All right. So what's your move silently check?
45.
Okay. The floorboards do squeak as you just step on the edge. But you do telekinesis one of the compasses over to your hand. As you're doing that, you do hear a shout in a loud, deep voice down the towards the entrance to the alley, and the shout is along the lines of, "Hey, what you doing down there?"
I go inside the building ever so slightly, and I change self. Does that Giff? Who did they see me? Or are they just motioning to me?
They were at the entrance to the alley. You could tell that much. And since you were like in the doorway, you didn't like really get a look.
No, I go in and I change self to a humanoid.
You mean a human?
Well, actually, no. Can I? I don't know what I want to do.
I'll be quick.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'm changing self to a generic humanoid.
No. So generic. There is no generic humanoid. Do you want to be
a human?
Human. Okay. Thank you. Okay. After about a moment, the two Giff come down and come towards you, standing in the doorway, and what did you change your clothes to look like?
Just a generic courier.
Okay. One of them speaks out, still in a loud voice. Yeah, what's going on down here?
I'm just here to pick up a compass.
You hear footsteps from upstairs.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna have to bluff my way through this.
You're picking up. You seem to be skulking there in the doorway. What's going on here?
I'm here to pick up a compass for some. I'm gonna say a generic name for Harry. I don't know. I'm just here to pick up delivery.
You got paperwork on that?
Nope.
The steps are on the footsteps now, and a voice comes down. What's going on down there? The Giff turns in the direction of the voice and says, "Yeah, got a courier saying you're picking something up here."
Yeah, name's Harry. No, I'm picking up a compass for Harry. I shout out. Well, not shout out. I speak out.
The voice on the stairs. You can hear the footsteps coming down the stairs. Well, we're not expecting a delivery. What's going on?
Oh, did he not tell you? Oh, I apologize for that. I assumed that it would have been all right. You would have had the information.
Give me just a second. Let's see. Checking their reaction adjustment. Do you have any modifiers for your
+3.
+3. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. The voice on the stairs says, I don't know anything about a delivery." The Giff says, "Right, well, we're gonna need to figure this out. You wait right here." And the other Giff heads into the shop to meet with the person coming down the stairs. You can see now that the person comes around. He's wearing, in night clothes. You recognize it as the shopkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
And
Go
carry on. No, go ahead. If you want to do something, you can interrupt me and say you're doing something specific, or are you just waiting?
I am just. How long does I need to check my spell duration? It's under. How long has it been vaguely?
Just a couple minutes.
Hang on, where has it changed? It's the illusion, isn't it? 2d6 rounds plus 2 rounds a level.
That's plenty.
Alright, yeah. No, I just wait.
So that's 10 rounds plus 10 rounds? Your 5th level, right? Yeah, right. The Giff that went inside says, "Yeah, we found this guy skulking in the doorway. Says that he's picking up a compass for someone. Some Harry?"
Yeah.
Odd name.
I say to him.
The shopkeeper what? I don't know anything about a delivery. The door was locked.
Oh, it was open. I say the door was open.
Right. Well, you're coming with us. We'll figure this out. Down at the guard station. Come with me. one of the Giff at the doorway puts his hand on your shoulder and grips it rather tightly.
All right. Well, I go along.
And the other Giff takes the compass. You had gotten the compass to your hand in the time frame before they got to you. I mean, did you put it back or what?
No, I hand it back to the Giff.
All right. The second Giff turns and hands it to the shopkeeper, and they rather roughly pull you out of the entrance to the shop and start walking you down the alley. At the other end of the alley, there's another pair of Giff waiting there, and one of them shouts to the two there and says, "What you got there?" The first one, the one with his arm on your shoulder, "I got a suspicious human who was skulking about. Says he was picking up a delivery, but got no proof of that, and the shopkeeper don't know nothing about it." All right, well, we'll take him down, figure out who he is. So
I just casually go with the Giff.
Okay. All right.
And is there now 4 Giff, or is it 2 Giff? Or
there's 4 Giff. There are 4 Giff.
Really, 4 Giff?
But the 2 that were there, they say, "It's just one human. You can handle him, right? We're gonna continue the patrol." The one with his hand on your shoulders is, no problem. And still with his hand on your shoulder, he starts. He turns you away from the 2 that were there, who were at the end of the alley, who have now started to continue their patrol.
Mm-hmm. All right, as you have to describe it as the scene's going on. I have to look for an opportunity, basically.
All right. Well, they're they're basically just walking you down the streets a few blocks away to a guard station. And I think that's where we're going to take our break. We'll see what you can do to get yourself out of this mess when we come back from the break.
Uh-huh.
So much fun to fail rolls, huh? Especially the hide and shadows roll that you failed.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to steal anything too valuable. It was a compass.
This is like a Republic cereal.
Yeah, I'm just like,
We'll
on, really laugh.
No, I could
Find out
run,
after the
but
break.
it's kind of like I'd rather find an opportunity where I somehow slip around the corner and my change self runs out.
Well, he's got one of the Giffs got his hands, his hand on your shoulder right now. So
yeah. Lafdul, I would have tried to escape and then let the magic wear off and then get away as an elf.
Well, you can figure that out. You can maybe discuss it if you want or not. I don't know. But we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes or so.
Yeah.